so much is tied to your behavior. So for example, I'm going to use the example of awareness. The way you interact with others, or even more so the way you talk about yourself. You can be so kind when you talk about yourself, or you can be one of the cruelest people when you're talking about yourself as well. I see this all the time where people will refer to themselves as an idiot or a moron, or somehow telling those around them that they are less than. And somehow they have created this, how do I say, they have made it an art in trying to make others laugh by putting themselves down. And it has worked for them for a long time. But the thing that they don't realize is that they are chiseling away at who they are, and that they forget that they are a human being. So imagine if you were a parent and you're doing this to your child. I think most people, if they saw you putting your child down in front of others, they would probably think you're one of the cruelest parents they've ever come across. But yet, for some reason, it's okay for us to do that about ourselves. And I'm guilty of this too. I've done it for years. I get it. I totally get it. But it took me, it took for me to go through some horrific times in my life for me to start piecing together how I got to that point. And I did not realize just how cruel I was to myself. Imagine, I heard this scenario a while back that if you can imagine, before you came to this planet, you had one job, and that is to take care of a human. And that human is you. You are that human. What would you do to try to ensure that this person, that human, has the best life possible? As a parent, I'm not a parent, but if you were a parent, you'd probably do whatever you could with whatever resources you had to make sure that this human being that you're raising has the best shot of life possible. And it is always that he or she is always protected, and that you're going to love them as much as you can. But why don't we do that? Why don't we do this to ourselves? And again, I'm putting myself in that same category because I have done this to myself for years. And it took me a long time to get back out of this hole. But now that I have, I cannot imagine going back to that. And it still scares me that I still see it all the time. And it's sad. But anyway, it is sad. It really is. Another thing that's tied to your identity is your focus. What are some of the things that you're focusing on? Good, bad, or indifferent, what is it? How is this elevating you? How is this pulling you forward? How is this helping you to win rather than lose? Pay attention to the things that you focus on. People who identify as someone who's just less than, or feels like they're not enough, or feels like they're never going to amount to anything, or whatever, are people that usually are looking for what else is bad. What else is bad in this world? What else is bad about? Or what else can I not do? Or what else am I incapable of doing? And believe me, if you dig deep enough, you're going to find it. But you're also going to find the things that are good, the things that are good in this world, the things that you're good at, the things that you're more than enough. If you start focusing more on that, on the positive, you're going to find more of it. So this starts to elevate who you feel you are if you let go of the negative. I think that a lot of times that we feel that if we don't focus on the negative, then that means that we don't care enough. If this is something that you can change, then by all means, take care of it. But if it's something you cannot change, then let it go, because you're literally just dragging along a giant bag of rocks that is not serving you in any way. So let it go. Only focus on what is good. Only focus on your strengths and the things that you're capable of, and so on and so on and so on. Now, this one I think is interesting because I've called it your tethers, the things that tether you to your past. And I've talked about a book from Gay Hendricks, and I'm trying to think of the things off the top of my head that he talks about. And I apologize to Gay Hendricks if I don't get this perfect, but he talked about some of the things, for example, of feeling like you're outshining people, like maybe outshining your siblings, outshining your environment, outshining those around you, um, or feeling that there can be some guilt around moving forward and bettering yourself. And again, I totally massacred all that because there's like four things, and I can only remember one of them. But this is a big one: outshining those around you. And I feel that a lot of you, me included, have had guilt around this. That if you outshine people, then there's a lot of guilt around that. And it has been my experience now that I feel that it's okay to move forward. It's okay to do better than those around me. That maybe that once I get to the point where I want to be, I can come back and I can help serve them to better themselves. That's actually what I'm doing now because I went through some real tough times and I learned a lot about myself. I learned how to become resourceful, how to grow, how to let go, how to forgive, all of that stuff. But the biggest thing I learned is my identity around that, connected to all that. Long story short, I eventually became a certified coactive life coach, and now my specialty is identity, and that's basically in how you see yourself. And so I digress. Back to the things that tether you. Some of these could also be belief systems. They could be political, they could be religious, they could just be tribal beliefs, just old beliefs that maybe, the people that are in the group that you're in always held. What's interesting enough is some of these belief systems can actually be inherited beliefs, where for whatever reason, I'm making this up, that if you are, let's say, a female, you feel that, well, females just shouldn't be doing certain things. You don't know where that belief came from, and there's a good chance that it's part of your DNA from multiple generations back. And so it's important to become aware of some of these belief systems and to question them. Ask yourself, what has me believing this? And is this belief system, is this a universal truth? And if it's not, you might start to think that maybe these belief systems are part of what's been holding me back and keeping me stuck. And it might be time to let some of these belief systems go. Now, the other thing too is your behavior. What are some of your behaviors that you allow yourself to engage in? Again, your behavior is basically oh my God, I'm blanking. I can't think of the word. Basically, you're an expression. Oh my God, see, that's what I want to say. An expression of the way you believe yourself to be. And that's it. So if you are a complete a-hole, there's a good chance that you're always feeling threatened by others. You're always walking around in fear. If you're somebody that you're very charismatic and then life just seems to just go so well for you, maybe you're somebody that you just love life, you love yourself, you love people around you, have healthy boundaries and so on and so on, and all good things happen to you because well, for one, it's what you're focusing on, your awareness. You're aware of your tethers, and now it just basically comes out of the way you express yourself and your behavior. So awareness, focus, the things that tether you, your behaviors, all of this is tied to your identity. So start to become more aware of how you see yourself, how you behave, the things that you feel might be tethering you or holding you back, and what are some of the things you focus on. So it's, yeah, that's that's all I want to say. Anyway, okay, my name is Uriel Mesa, and I'm with ktslifecoaching.com. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. And again, as always, it's always a pleasure to serve you here. Thank you so much.